If you want to build the best 5v5 Pro-Am team, you need players with the perfect builds for each position. From a point guard that can run and orchestrate the offense like a well-oiled machine, to a shooting guard that can score from anywhere on the floor. You need a lockdown that can hold it down on the defensive end of the court, and a swing that takes pride in doing all the little things that makes your team go. Lastly, you need a big that can get your guards open and clean up the glass with the best of them. In this video, I will show you guys the best Pro-Am builds for all positions on NBA 2K26. Now, the first position we're going to talk about is the point guard position. You want to make sure you have a very good build for this position because you are going to be the offensive engine for your team. You're going to be bringing the ball up the floor, you're going to be running plays, orchestrating the offense, scoring the ball. So you want to make sure you have the right build to be able to do all those things. Let's hop into this build. Now, this build I'm going to show you guys is my personal point guard build, the build that I use in Comp Pro-Am. And if you guys want a full breakdown of that build, go watch that build video. But what you want to do is, obviously, for your position, you're going to be point guard. Your height is going to be 6'2", your weight is going to be 170, and then your wingspan is going to be 6'3". Now, you might be wondering why I went so small for the height. Now, obviously, because you're playing Pro-Am, you're going to have a team around you that has hella defense, and so you're not going to need to be the biggest player on the court. You're only going to be really guarding corner. And I'm going to show you guys two variations, two point guard builds, so that if you want to be a little bit taller, you know, I'll show you that build a little bit after this one. But if you don't mind being a little bit shorter and having a little bit more offense, then this is going to be the perfect build for you on that. Now, we're going to get into these attributes right here. Your close shot is going to be a 72. That obviously doesn't matter too much. You're not going to be in the paint like that as a point guard. Your driving layup is going to be a 77. That 77 driving layup allows you to get float game on bronze, layup mix master on bronze. Two solid key badges right there. It's going to allow you to finish around the rim at times. You know, if you get taken out of a dunk, you know, things like that, finish around the rim. Your driving dunk is going to be an 87. The 87 driving dunk gives you posterizer on silver. You'll also have the 75 vert down the line. And then you also have aerial wizard on gold. Another pretty solid badge, just if your team likes to throw lobs and things like that. That standing dunk is going to be a 46. Now, the 46 standing dunk this year, you cannot get the standing dunk packages, but there are other dunk packages that you can get that are very similar to standing dunks. And if you don't have a standing dunk rating, it's going to be a lot harder to trigger some of these animations I'm going to show you. So if you get the Anthony Edwards dunk package, he has a little standing dunk in there. And then also if you get the quick drops off too, there's a lot of standing dunk type of dunk packages in there. And like I said, if you don't have any type of standing dunk rating, is going to be a lot harder to trigger those animations. So you want to make sure you have that. Your post control is going to be a 32. That obviously doesn't matter. And now we're going to move on to your shooting for this build. Your mid range is going to be an 85. That's going to be very solid right there. As you guys can see in these clips, you're going to be able to knock down tough mid-range shots, whether it's contested, you know, whether the defense is, you know, even if they play good defense, bro, it's the 85 midi is going to be just enough, my nigga, for you to be able to hit consistently. And obviously there's no RNG this year, so 85 midi is going to be perfect. Now, moving on to your three ball, you're going to have a 95 three ball, but with cap breakers, you're going to +4 that just to get to that 99 three. And having 99 three this year is very key. There's a very big difference from not having 99 three to having it this year. I'm telling you, if you're wide open, there's absolutely really no chance of you missing if you know your jump shot pretty well. And if you guys want to see my jump shot right here, this is what jump shot I'm rocking. And if you don't have starter 4, you could rock this jump shot right here. But back to that 99 three that you're going to have with the cap breakers, you're going to have all the legend shooting badges, including Deadeye Legend, Set Shot Specialist Legend, Limitless Range on Legend, Shifty Shooter Legend. And Shifty Shooter's probably, as you guys know, like the best badge in the game. And so having that on Legend and then the Mini Marksman as well on Legend, I mean, boy, you're going to be absolutely money. Now, your free throw is going to be a 99. Obviously, if you want to tweak that, you really don't need to have anything higher than like an 85 free throw. You can really get away with that. And you could tweak the build a little bit if you want to, but for me personally in Pro-Am, I just don't want to miss any free throws. And I feel like I end up shooting a lot of free throws anyways, you know, get to the line, you know, transition fouls, things like that. Having that 99 free throw, I just like to have that personally. Now, for playmaking, your pass act is going to be an 85. Now, because you're playing point guard in Comp Pro-Am, you're going to want to be able to get a lot of your passes off a lot quicker. You're going to be going against locks and swings that have their hands up on defense. They're going to make it really tough on you. You want to be able to throw the slips. So you want to have a pass act that's going to be able to let you get the ball to your teammates on time, on target. And that 85 pass act is going to do the job. It's going to get the job done. You'll have Dimer on gold. And another thing you could do is if you throw a +2 on the Dimer, you could have Dimer on legend. And then you could also throw another +2 on bailout on gold as well. Like, there's other things that you could do with this to, you know, make your passing so much better. But that 85 pass act is going to be perfect right there. It's going to let you get the job done when it comes to all your passing. Your ball handle is going to be a 92. The 92 ball handle allows you to get all the dribble moves that you're going to need, all the key dribble moves. You'll have ankle assassin on silver, unpluckable gold, handles for days gold, few solid badges. If you also want to throw some cap breakers on there just to allow you to get handles for days on Hall of Fame and unpluckable Hall of Fame, all those little things, you could do that as well. That's what I ended up doing on my build. Your speed up ball is going to be a 91. I did eventually throw 3 cap breakers on my speed up ball to get to a 94 speed up ball, and I'm telling you, 91 to 94 was a really big difference. 94 speed up ball, I feel like a prime Russell Westbrook, like a prime Derrick Rose out there on the court. You are so fast with the ball, and obviously you're 6'2" as well, so just being even smaller, like you're really quick out there. And then you'll also have that lightning launch on legend as well, another legend badge. You're pairing lightning launch on legend with all the legend shooting badges that you already have. It's gonna be beautiful. Now moving on to your defense isn't going to be the greatest, but the next build I'll show you guys is going to have a little bit more defense. This is more of an offensive type of build, but your interior defense is only going to be a 43, but that'll allow you to wall up in the paint at times, you know, get stops in the paint and things like that, get contests in the paint at times. Your perimeter defense will be a 71. You can get that challenger on bronze. You're going to need that this year, especially the way the contests are. Who knows if a patch will come out, make the contests a little bit better, but for now, that's going to be, you know, it's going to help you get contests out the corner in Pro-Am and things like that. Your steal is going to be a 60. That 60 steal is going to be key right there. Honestly, I'm getting a lot of steals with that 60 steal. I'm going to be honest. Not a lot of plucks, obviously, because we know how the game is this year, but just in terms of lane steals and, you know, being able to get blitzes at times, things like that, that 60 steal is going to help you get the job done. And then your block is going to be a 57. That right there allows you to get contests on the perimeter, contests in the paint. It just allows you to jump higher in terms of your, you know, contests and things like that. That 57 block is going to be key right there. It's been working really well for me. And then for your rebounding, 25 O board, 32 B board. That obviously doesn't matter. And now we're going to talk about your physicals. Now your speed is going to be a 91. That 91 speed is going to have you zooming out there off the ball, whether it's on defense, whether it's running a break. You're just going to be really fast off the ball. Your agility is going to be a 76. I would say if you do have any extra cap breakers, you could throw that on agility just so you could get a better motion style. But because you're not doing too much on defense, I don't think you need the most agility. Like, I think more the speed of ball and all that kind of stuff matters a little bit more than all that. And then your strength is going to be a 37. That obviously doesn't matter as a point guard. And your vert is going to be a 75 to wrap up the attributes on this build. That's going to allow you to get that posterizer on silver. And what you could do if you have more cap breakers, all this just depends on how many cap breakers you have. You could go +2 on driving dunk to get to an 89 driving dunk, and then you can go another cap breaker on vertical, and that'll get you to a 78 vert. And now you can get the pro contact dunks off one. That's going to be a nice little dunk package for you to have. And if you don't care about that, then you can just stick with the 87 driving dunk to 75 vert. You'll still be just fine as far as dunking goes. Dunking is great on this build, but here's what my build is looking like with the cap breakers right now. And also I'm about to hit starter 5 as well, so I'm going to get even more cap breakers on this build just to make it even more devious. But now I'm about to show you guys my boy Young Precise's build right here. He has a 6'4" point guard build, a little bit more well-rounded in terms of having defense, maybe a tiny bit less offense, but it's still a very good offensive build. Now we're gonna hop into that build. Now the height for this build is gonna be 6'4". That's gonna be nice right there, because you're also gonna have 99.3 down the line, and that's gonna allow you to shoot over players a little bit better than the 6'2" build that I just showed you guys. So that's gonna be key. And then you're gonna have a 192 weight. You're gonna have a little bit of strength on this build too. We'll talk about that down the line. And then your wingspan is gonna be 6'4". Now for the attributes on this build, your close shot is gonna be 69. Obviously that doesn't matter. Your driving layup will be a 76. That lets you get float game on bronze, layup mix master on bronze, and then you also get physical finisher on bronze because you're also going to have strength with this build. Moving on to your driving dunk, that's going to be an 80, and 80 is going to be solid enough for you to get on that rim. You'll also be 6'4" as well. You'll be able to dunk pretty consistently. Obviously you won't be able to get contact dunks or anything like that, but you'll still be able to dunk the ball pretty consistently with that 80 driving dunk. Your standing dunk is going to be a 28. Your post control is going to be a 41. And now we're going to talk about the shooting. Now your shooting, your mid range is going to be an 84. Obviously one less than the last build I just showed you guys, but that obviously isn't going to make a difference. You're still going to be able to shoot really consistently with that 84 midi. And then again, because you're 6'4", you're going to be able to shoot over people a lot better than you're going to be able to do on the 6'2". Now with the 3-ball, your 3-ball is going to be a 94. That 94 3-ball, you're going to +5 cap breaker that to get to that 99 3. And now you're going to be absolutely cash with all the legend shooting badges. The only one you don't get is mini marksman, but because you're 6'4", you're still going to be able to shoot over people. So that's going to be nice. Moving on to your free throw, that's going to be an 80. You're going to be able to shoot free throws consistently. And now we're going to talk about your playmaking. Now, one thing I didn't mention with the last build, and it's going to be the same thing for this build, you want to go with the playmaking build specialization. Yes, it's going to take a long time to do, but if you can get that done, it's just going to make both these builds so much better. But now we're going to get into the pass act. Your pass act is going to be a 76. Now Now what Precise did with his build is he threw a max +1 on Versatile Visionary to get to Gold Versatile Visionary. So now it's basically like he has an 84 pass at, because that's what you need in order to get to Gold Versatile Visionary. So yeah, he's rocking that with the max +1. That's a pretty nice badge to have. It's going to allow him to throw passes, you know, consistently, throw the slips, and do everything he needs to do. Now next up, the ball handle is going to be a 91. Now what Precise did is he threw +5 cat breakers on there as well to get to a 96 ball handle. And now he has Unpluckable on Hall of Fame. He has handles for days on Legend, also throwing a max +1 on there. Like, here's a screenshot of just what he threw his max +1s on, and it just made the dribbling on this build so much better, bro. Like, dude, that 96 ball handle with the 6'4", like, dude, you're gonna be moving out there. You're gonna be absolutely moving. Moving on to that speed with ball, he has an 86 speed with ball, and he also threw a max +2 on the lightning launch to get that to Legend. And so you're just getting extra Legend badges with this build on top of the 3 ball, and, you know, having all the Legend shooting badges. It's just gonna make this build so good offensively. And another thing I didn't mention is that you're gonna have that strong handle on gold, and plus obviously down the line you're gonna have strength with this build, so that's gonna be nice. But what Precise also said he was gonna do was throw another +2 on the strong handle to get that to Legend. So imagine what Legend strong handle is gonna look like along with everything else on this build. Having that strong handle when you're going against these locks, these tougher swings, it's just gonna allow you to get to your spots a lot easier without getting bumped as much, and you're gonna be the one getting a little bit bumpy with these locks. So that's one of the key things on this build. But now we're going to move on to the defense, and for the defense, your interior is going to be a 49. That's a little bit better than the last build I showed you guys, plus your 6'4", so it's going to just help you even more to wall up in the paint. Your perimeter defense is going to be an 85. That lets you get Challenger Silver, On-Ball Menace Silver, a Movable Enforcer on Bronze, Pick Dodger Silver, Off-Ball Pest on Gold. So at any times if you need to, you know, get switched onto a guard, or if anything like that happens, you're going to be able to hold it down on defense. Your steal is going to be an 85 as well. That's going to be really nice. You get Glove on Silver, Interceptor on Gold, key badges right there. And then for the block, your block is going to be a 61 all the way maxed out. And that's going to be really nice in terms of, you know, like I said, getting the contest on the perimeter, you know, jumping pretty high for contests, all those little things. It's going to be nice. Moving on to your rebounding, you're actually going to have a little bit of rebound on this build, a 35 offensive rebound and a 60 D board. That's going to let you get rebounds at times out of the corner. Obviously, you're still only 6'4", so you're not going to just be snagging, but a 60 defensive rebound with the 6'4" it's going to help your team out just a little bit when it comes to rebounding just at times. Moving on to your physicals, your speed is going to be an 87. The agility is going to be a 77. Your strength is going to be a 73. That lets you get that strong handle that you're going to need. And then your vertical is going to be a 65. Now, if you're looking for a build that's more offensive, I would say you should probably use the other one. If you want a build that's a little bit more well-rounded, like Precise's build, I would say use this one. And you could take this build to a lot other things, you know, like park and stage and all these other things. So his build is really nice right here. Shout out to him for giving us this build. But now we're going to move on to the hash position. This is going to be key right here as well. Now for the shooting guard position, you obviously want to be able to take pressure off of your point guard, score the ball, you know, play defense, get out on the breaks. And so we're going to make a perfect build for that. Your position is going to be a shooting guard. Your height is going to be 6'8". Now that 6'8" height is what's been meta this whole entire year in 2K26. You want to be 6'8 plus when you're, you know, playing at that hash spot. Your weight is going to be 185, and then your wingspan is going to be 6'8 as well. Now we're going to hop into these attributes. So your close shot is going to be a 79, obviously. Just like the point guard, it doesn't matter too much. Your driving layup will be a 60. That'll let you get float game on silver. You'll have your driving dunk in 80. That's going to be solid right there. Your standing dunk is going to be a 50. Your post control is going to be a 33. Now, so the finishing on this build is not going to be OD, but because you are 6'8", with that 80 driving dunk, you're still going to be able to do exactly what you need to do at the rim. Now we're going to talk about your shooting. Your mid-range is going to be a 94. You're going to want to cap breaker that +2 or +1. +1 will let you get Deadeye on Hall of Fame, but +2 will let you get Shifty Shooter on Hall of Fame. That's going to be nice right there. So you want to go either +1 or +2 with the cap breakers there. And obviously, even if you didn't cap breaker, that 94 alone is obviously still really nice. Your 3 ball is going to be a 92. That's all the way maxed out. You're going to be able to still shoot from deep, and obviously there's no RNG this year, so 92 3 ball is going to have you shooting consistent. And plus, because you have that 96 midi or the 95, it's just going to make everything, you know, better, like from middies to 3, it's just everything. Now your free throw is going to be a 98. That's going to be nice right there. You're getting to the line, knocking down your free throws. If you're getting fouled in transition, you know, on the breaks and stuff like that, you'll be able to get to the line and knock down your shots. Now we're going to talk about your playmaking. So for your pass act, that's going to be a 76. Obviously, because you're a hash, you don't always have the ball in your hands. But but when you do, that 76 is going to be good enough to get the ball off at times. If you wanted to go higher, you definitely could. I know other, 6'8" hashes have like 85 pass ac, and you could definitely go higher if you wanted to, but I think 76 is going to be good enough. Now with your ball handle, this is going to be key. You're going to throw your ball handle to a 66, but what you're going to do is you're going to throw +5 cat breakers there, and that's going to allow you to get to an 86 ball handle, and that's going to be key. That's going to give you all the dribbling, animations that you need, all the right badges that you need. And that's what most hashes have been doing with their cat breakers. They're just going 66 ball handle and then +5ing it to get to that 86. Your speed of ball is going to be a 71 at first, and then you're going to cat breaker that +2 to get to that 80 ball handle, and that's what all hashes are using on that 6'8". And so you're going to have an 86 ball handle and you're going to have an 80 speed of ball. You're going to be moving out there on the floor. Moving on to your defense, your interior defense is going to be a 54. The 54 interior defense doesn't matter too much, but you're going to be able to wall up in the paint at times. If the hash is cutting and you need to wall up in the paint, it's going to help you get stops right there. Your perimeter defense is going to be nice right here. You're going to have a 95 perimeter defense. Now you're going to have challenger on Hall of Fame, on ball menace on gold, pick dodger on gold, and off ball pest on Hall of Fame. You're going to be moving like a prime Kawhi Leonard out there. And on top of that, having all that offense, bro, you're going to be a elite two-way player. Your steal is going to be a 79. I know a lot of hashes are going 73 steal, but who knows if they come out with patches to make steals better. I think 79 is a little bit safer. I don't know. I like 73 it's cool. You could definitely go down to 73 and tweak the build if you wanted to, but in my opinion, I would say 79 is just probably better to go. You get that glove on silver, and then for block, your block is going to be a 68. With that 68 block lets you get high flying denier on bronze. Another nice badge right there, and it's going to be a build you can use outside of Proam as well. You can use this in the park, in the stage, all those other things, and so you're going to be really nice offensively and defensively. Moving on to your rebounding is going to be offensive rebound 44, defensive rebound is 65. Just, it's going to help you out times if you're ever down there, in the paint, and plus you're 6'8" as well, so you're pretty tall on this build. Why not have a little bit of rebound? Moving on to your physicals, speed is going to be an 89. That's going to let you be zooming out there on the breaks, getting out there, knocking down threes, doing exactly what you need to do. Your agility is going to be an 84, that 84 agility right there. You only need an 83 to get the Jalen Suggs, but I had extra room on this build, so why not just throw it on there to make your build a little bit faster on defense? So that's going to be nice, but if you want to go down to 83, you can do that as well. Your strength is going to be a 60, and then your vertical is going to be a 65 to wrap up this build. This build is going to be really nice right here in terms of just scoring the ball, taking pressure off of your guard, getting to a bucket, playing defense with that 95 perimeter. Solid all-around build offensively and defensively. It's a two-way sharpshooter. Nice build right here. Now we're going to get into the small forward position, which is going to be the lock position right here. Obviously, another key part to the team. This is going to be the front line of the defense right here. This is going to be the first defender that the offensive side is going to be seeing when they, have the ball in their hands. And so you want to make sure you have a really good lock. And so what you want to do is you want to go small forward for the position. The height is going to be 6'6". The weight is going to be 238. And then the wingspan is going to be 7 foot. You want to make sure you have a long wingspan so that you're able to get contests and all those little things, get rebounds at times if you need to. It's obviously going to be key for defense. Now, when we get to these attributes, your close shot is going to be a 70. Doesn't matter too much. This is obviously not going to be mainly for offense. It's going to be a defensive build. Now, your driving layup is going to be a 53. Your driving dunk will be a 62. That's going to allow you to still get up on that rim. Times you need to cut out of the corners and things like that. Your standing dunk is going to be a 72. That's going to allow you to get that rise up on bronze, and you'll also have aerial wizard on bronze. So you could catch lobs out of the corner, off cuts, and then obviously if you're getting called on cuts, you can do standing dunks. That's going to be nice right there, and obviously you're 6'6" as well, so you're going to be able to get up there. Your post control is going to be a 53. Obviously doesn't matter. That just goes up because you have strength on this build. And then when we talk about your shooting, your midi is going to be a 73. Obviously, like I've been talking about with all these builds, no RNG this year. The 73 midi is going to be good enough for you to knock down pretty consistently when you're open. You might not be able to hit hella contested mid-range shots, maybe, sometimes, but this is going to be good enough for you to hit open when you are open, you know what I mean? And so your three ball is going to be a 83. That 83 three ball right there is going to allow you to get dead eye on bronze. You get set shot specialist on silver. You have limitless range on bronze as well, shifty shooter on bronze. And what you really could do with some of your max plus ones or max plus twos, you could throw that on some of your shooting badges, and who knows, you could really have limitless range on gold or shifty shooter on gold, whatever you want to do with this build, and tweak and make the offense and the shooting just a little bit better. It's going to be good. Your free throw is going to be an 82. And now we're going to go over to your playmaking. Your playmaking pass sack is going to be a 43. Obviously, that's not that crazy, but at the end of the day, you're not making any far passes, to be honest. The only times you're really passing the ball for real is if you get the ball in the corner and then you're resetting your guard, but he's right next to you at that point, so you don't need that high of a pass sack. Your ball handle is going to be a 68. Your speed of ball is going to be a 73. None of this stuff really matters too much, but you do get that strong handle on silver, and that's a nice little badge to have just in case, you ever get the ball on the break potentially, and maybe you have a smaller defender on you, you want to bump them off, things like that. But now we're going to get into the key parts of this build, and that's going to be the defense. So for your defense, your interior defense is going to be a 67. Obviously, with that 7-foot wingspan, that's just going to allow you to wall up in the paint on guards and, be able to get stops in the paint on these 6'8s and everything like that. And you could potentially switch onto centers at times if you ever need to with your swing, and you could still be able to get a stop in the paint. Your perimeter defense is going to be a 94. Now, what you want to do with that 94 perimeter, you're going to throw +5 cat breakers on there to get that to 99, and now you'll have all the legend defensive badges that you're going to need. But for right now, just with that 94, you have Challenger on gold, on-ball menace on gold, Pig Dodger gold, Immovable Forcer Hall of Fame, and then you have Off-Ball Pest on Hall of Fame. Now, like I said, you're going to +5 cat breakers that to get all the defensive badges that you need on legend, and that's going to be nice. Now, your steal is going to be a 91. Now, because steal is not the craziest this year, you don't need to have a 99 steal, obviously, but a 91 is going to be, good enough. Like, you'll be able to have Interceptor on gold, you have Glove on gold, 2 solid badges right there. But like I said, steals is not the greatest this year, so you don't need a 99 steal or anything like that. 91 is going to get the job done. Your block is going to be an 80. That, like I said, that's going to just help with contest on the perimeter. It's going to help with blocks in the paint on smaller guards, on 6'8s. If you need to get a stop in the paint on bigs, that's just going to help. Having that 80 block is going to be nice with this 6'6 lock build. Now we're going to talk about your rebounding. Now, this is actually pretty nice with this build. Your offensive rebound is going to be an 80, and your defensive rebound is going to be an 85. Now, you get Rebound Chaser on silver, and you also get Box Out Beast on gold. So you really can switch with your swing at times. If the screen hits really hard and the guard's getting open and you can't do anything but switch, maybe you're not even able to call a rotation, this is going to be perfect right here for you to be able to box out, let your center get the rebound, or at times for you to even get the rebound with that 85 board. So that's going to be tough right there. And then when we move on to the physicals, what you want to do with your speed, you're going to have an 88 speed, but you're going to throw +5 cat breakers on there as well to get to a 93 speed, max that out all the way. Because you're a lock, you want to make sure you're very fast off the ball. That's going to be very key right there. You want to make sure you're just as fast as these guards and able to move around just as fast as them. Your agility is going to be an 87. That's going to be key right there as well. It's going to help you with the Pig Dodger, all those are the key badges that you need in order to have all the legend badges. Your strength is going to be a 92. That 92 strength is going to have you bumping guards hella. I mean, dude, you're 92 strength, bro, on a 6'6 lock build that already has 238 weight. Like, you're going to be pretty strong out there. It's going to be tough for guards to get around you. Your vertical is going to be a 75. That 75 vert helps you with pogo stick. You have high flying denier on silver, and then it also helps you with the rise up that you're going to have as well. So overall, this lock build is just absolutely devious. You got that 83 3 ball, and you can also throw the max +1s, to help your shooting just a little bit more. You still got that standing dunk at a 72, so you can, you got that rise up. But then with your defensive stats, you're going to have a 99 perimeter defense. You're looking like a prime Kawhi Leonard out there. And then you also have that 93 speed as well. So match the 99 prim with the 93 speed. You're going to be so fast out there. You have the 91 steal as well with the 80 block, and you have rebound. This is the best lock build on 2K26. I also want to throw out there that you want to make sure that you pick shooting for your build specialization on this build, just because that is the easiest build specialization. And then you can also use your shooting build specialization cat breakers on your physicals as well. If you guys didn't know that, you could throw those on your physicals. So that's what you want to do. Use those towards the speed, and it's going to have this build moving devious. Now we're going to get into the swing position, the power forward position, probably in my opinion the most important position on a Pro-Am team. Your swing is going to be covering for everybody on defense, making up for your team's mistakes, all those little things, doing all the little things on defense. It's going to be key. So what you want to do is you're going to go power forward. Your height is going to be 6'8", and your weight is going to be 259. You obviously want to be big, strong, so you can box out these centers, and then your wingspan is going to be 7'2". Now moving on to the attributes, your close shot is going to be a 73. Your driving layup will be a 50. Driving dunk will be a 70. And the 70 driving dunk right there, obviously your 6'8", that's going to be nice right there, cutting out of the corner. Same thing as the lock. You obviously want to have some type of dunk. And then your standing dunk is going to be a 45. You'll get both the standing dunk packages under the rim. That's going to be nice. And then your post control will be a 50. Now moving on to your shooting. Your mid-range is going to be a 70. The 70 mid-range, same thing as the lock. You're going to be able to knock down when you're open. Your 3 ball is going to be an 80. And that 83 ball right there is going to allow you to get dead eye on bronze. You get set shot specialist on silver. You won't be able to get that limitless range, but you will have shifty shooter on bronze as well. And obviously you could throw some max plus ones, max plus twos on there as well to make the offense a little bit better, the shooting a little bit better on this build. And you will be able to get that Tracy McGrady when you hit that starter 4 as well. Your free throw is going to be a 70. And then moving on to your playmaking, your pass hack is going to be a 75. You're obviously going to get rebounds at times, and you want to make sure you're able to throw the break to your hash. And so 75 pass hack is going to be good enough. You have that break starter as well. You have dimer silver, versatile visionary on bronze. Your ball handle will be a 55, speed with ball 60. Those two things don't matter, but now we're going to talk about the defense. So your interior defense is going to be a 75. Now you could also throw some cap breakers on there to get this a little bit higher, up some of these badges a little bit, maybe post move lockdown silver. It just depends on really what you want to do, but there's other things you can prioritize with your cap breakers for this build other than interior defense. But if you want to up that up a little bit, tweak this build, you definitely could do that. Your perimeter defense is going to be an 84. You have challenger silver, on-ball menace on bronze, immovable enforcer gold, pick dodger silver, and off-ball pest on gold. Those are going to be key badges just in case you're ever like switched out onto the perimeter and now you're guarding the guard. You want to make sure you're still able to hold him and, you know what I mean, like get bumpy and do all those little things. Your steal is going to be an 85. Obviously steals are not the greatest, but you still have that interceptor, and you could throw max plus 1, max plus 2 on there, and then you could get that, you know, legend interceptor, Hall of Fame interceptor, whatever you want to do. Moving on to your block is going to be an 84. That gives you high flying denier silver, paint patroller on silver, and if you wanted to throw cap breakers here just to get high flying denier on gold, you could do that, but I don't think it's a priority. I mean, honestly, 84 block is going to be good enough. As you guys can see from these clips, my swing is going absolutely crazy. Shout out to Leak. Now for the rebounding, this is where you want to throw your cap breakers at. Your offensive rebound is going to be an 88 at first, and your D-board will be a 92. That gives you rebound chaser gold and box out beast on gold. But what you want to do is you want to throw cap breakers on your D-board to get to a 96 D-board. That's going to give you rebound chaser on Hall of Fame. And then you want to put your some other cap breakers on offensive rebound to get to a 90 offensive rebound. And that's going to just have you grab helping your center out on offensive rebounds, you know, coming out of the corner. And you'd be surprised, bro, like 90 offensive rebound on a 6'8 swing, you can get a lot of rebounds, give your team extra possessions, all those little things. Remind you, your swing, you got to do all the little things for your team. Moving on to your physicals, your speed, you want to max that out. That's going to be an 84. Your agility is going to be a 76. You want to max that out as well. You want to make sure you're as fast as possible on defense. Your strength is going to be an 85. That's going to allow you to get bumpy with these centers, get box outs, do all the things you need to do. And then to wrap this build up, your vert is going to be a 79. And I would say if you wanted to, you could put your vert up, you know, maybe cap breaker that. Try to get to an 80 vert if you can, but you already have pogo stick on gold, so that's a key badge right there. This is going to be such a nasty swing build right here. You have so much defense, and that's pretty much going to wrap up this build. You'll have the shades of Andre Kirilenko, Anthony Davis, Chris Webber, obviously 3 great all-time defensive players right there. You get the build name Edge Enforcer, and later on when you throw cap breakers on this build, you will be able to change the build name. But that's going to wrap up this swing build. Now we're going to get into the center position. Now with the center spot, obviously the 7-4s have been dominating 2K26, so that's exactly the type of build you're going to want to make. So over at the builder, you're going to want to go to center. Your height is going to be 7'4". Your weight is going to be 233. Your wingspan is going to be 7'4" as well, and that's going to allow you to get an 89 3-ball with this build. When we move on to the attributes, your close shot is going to be an 80. That's going to allow you to make all the layups around the paint, finish around the rim, all those little types of things. Your driving layup is going to be a 55. You have float game on silver with this build. Your driving dunk is going to be a 70. That's going to allow you to, you know, when you catch the ball off the slips, just take easy dunks. You won't be able to obviously get contact dunks with this build, but you're still going to be able to finish above the rim. Your standing dunk is going to be a 95 though, and what you want to do is you want to throw +4 cap breakers on there to get to 99 standing dunk, and you will have a 99 standing dunk with a 7'4 build. That's going to be so overpowered. You have aerial wizard on Hall of Fame, rise up on Hall of Fame. Now for your post control, that's going to be a 58. You're not going to really be in the post like that. Your mid range is going to be a 79. That 79 midi, it's just going to allow you to hit consistently. You can take midi fades at times, all those little types of things. And remind you, you're 7'4", so you're really going to be able to knock down your shots over people and everything like that. Your 89 3 ball, that's going to be all the way maxed out with this build. You have limitless range on silver, Deadeye on silver, set shot specialist on gold. Those are 3 very nice badges to have right there. And I don't even think I really got to say it. I mean, you guys know how overpowered shooting has been with 7-4s this year. Just the shooting over people, that whole entire aspect, like it's been absolutely insane. So 89 3 ball is going to be very nice to have. Your free throw is going to be an 80. That's going to be solid when you get to the line. At times, if you get taken out of a dunk on a slip, you get fouled or something like that, you can get to the line and knock down your shots. Your pass hack is going to be an 87. That's going to let you throw the bricks to your hash, throw the bricks to, whoever's open, to be honest with you. And even when you're passing out of, a slip or, you're making reads, that 87 pass hack is going to allow you to get the ball to your teammates on time and on target. Your ball handle is going to be a 37, speed of ball 25. Those things obviously don't really matter too much. Your interior defense is going to be an 84. You are going to have off-ball pest silver, paint patroller silver, and post-move lockdown on silver as well. Your perimeter defense 34. You have a 40 steal. Honestly, if you could tweak this build to try to get like a little bit more, perimeter defense or something like that, I could see that being tough with this build. But overall, like, you want to be able to shoot, you want to be able to dunk, and you want to be able to get blocks. And you will have a 92 block on this build. That 92 block gives you high flying denier on silver, and what you want to do is you want to cat breaker your block +1, and that's going to give you paint patroller on gold. Moving on to your rebound, you're going to have box out beast on gold with an 85 offensive rebound. Your defensive rebound is going to be an 87. You're going to max both of those out, and the badges you get, like I said, box out beast gold, and you have that rebound chaser on silver. Moving on to your physicals, your speed is going to be a 61 all the way maxed out, agility all the way maxed out to 46. Your strength is going to be an 83. That gives you brick wall on silver, and obviously you're going to need that for that post move lockdown as well. And then your vertical is going to be maxed out at a 72. That just helps with the rise up on Hall of Fame. You have that high flying denier bronze, and then you have the pogo stick silver lastly. That's going to pretty much wrap up this build. I mean, it's a pretty simple 7-4 build. Obviously you get that Victor Wembanyama comparison, your inside out glass guardian, you got the high 3 ball, you got the high block, you got the high finishing. You can do everything with this build. And that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're going to make any of these builds, make sure you put it down in the comment section what you also thought I could have changed as well. What things you guys would change. Make sure you drop the like button, hit the sub button, do all those good little things. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.